Fans, it's Yoshi Kwan here with the Premier Pro Wrestling 441st taping results. Yoshi Kwan, Google it, search it on YouTube. You'll see why it's funny. For those of you that do know, talking about the mustache and the Chris Champion hair. Folks, really, it's old Rock and Randy here, but the serious part is I am here with the PPW 441 results. Now, in case you don't know, we've been taping on Saturday nights and we've been streaming it on what we call Friday Night Frenzy on Twitch. If you do know and you've been watching and liking, subscribing, whatever the hell you kids do on Twitch, thank you. Now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead for archival purposes and give you the rundown and just take this brief opportunity to remind you. Most of these matches will be Premier Pro Wrestling on Patreon, Premier Pro Wrestling on Pivot Share. So please support PPW and get really cool stuff. And don't forget, before I leave, if I forget to tell you, Premier Pro Wrestling's official merchandise shop on Pro Wrestling Tees and that wonderful I Stand With Punk t-shirt, Premier Pro Wrestling Red Bubble. Match number 1 of the evening featured the American Beard facing off with a total mismatch there, the 255 pounds of 06. At the end of the day, it was the American Beard able to outthink, because he is the thinking man's wrestler, and get the Duke over 06. Match number 2 was an amazing matchup between Rockstar Rosie and his tag team partner, the relentless Jay Leone. These guys said aloud they want to tune themselves up as former tag team champions, and they want to start the chase for Marcus the Science Smith and Charlie Hustle's tag team titles. What better way to do it than to face each other? And they went every bit of 20 minutes and wrestled to a draw. I don't know, to me, that just screams, yeah, we're ready. Marcus the Science Smith in singles action against the young and incumbent kid that has really probably looked his best tonight at PPW 441 from the PPW training facility, Dayton Perilli. What a great matchup as usual. Mark talked and talked and talked, and in part credit to Marcus the Science Smith. He backed it up and he put his money where his mouth was. But then when Dayton kept coming and the frustration welded, Marcus the Science Smith resorted to his bag of tricks and got the Duke over to youngster Dayton Perilli. Match number 4. Now this was really cool because it's an original concept match for Premier Pro Wrestling. We call it the Everyman for Himself elimination matchup. In that match, it was Marcus the Science Smith, Dayton Perilli, Rockstar Rosie, Jay Leone, Branden Campbell, and the half crazy, or is he crazy, Jake Hazard. In this matchup, every man outside the ring must keep his hand on the middle rope. The 2 participants inside the ring can tag out whenever they want. Once you tag a man, he has to get in that ring. It's elimination style, so there are no teams there. At the end of the day, this was probably the best of our elimination, every man for himself tag matches, which ended up being the last 2 survivors in that one, for lack of a better term, were Badass Branden Campbell and Jake Hazard. That being said, and I said it on commentary, life imitated art. They were already penciled in for a match that they both asked for. By the tremendous chemistry between those 2 big guys, 2 240-pounders that have been going back and forth for quite a while now, they want to decide once and for all who's the better man and requested this best of 7 series. In that first match, the best of 7 series, these guys went a whole nother direction than they've gone before. They actually wrestled. Yes, of course it was hard-hitting. Yes, of course it was physical. Yes, of course it was off the charts on believability factor. But these men wrestled in one way, shape, or form. The half-crazy, or ithy, Jake Hazard was able to capitalize off of a big mistake by Badass Branden Campbell when he went for the spear, and Jake Hazard moved out of the way, and Badass Branden Campbell got nothing but ring post, and Jake Hazard just wrapped him up for the first win in the best of 7 series. Now, That being said, I've pimped all the other revenue streams. Let's go ahead and talk about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, there's an All Japan style battle royal to open the card. Tomorrow night, doors at 7 p.m. It's Saturday night, January 7th, and bell time is 7:30. The All Japan style battle royal. This isn't your willy-nilly indie crap, throw them over the top rope and they kind of take a half-ass bump because they're half-trained battle royal. This battle royal is decided via pinfall in the ring. And I feel awful for the first man to get eliminated because he's going to have the other 9 guys piled on top of him. After going through all those men, if you can survive, the last man in that match will face PPW's current heavyweight champion, El Guerrero, Jose Acosta, 2 out of 3 falls for the title. The big news there is a man is returning to Premier Pro Wrestling that was never supposed to physically be able to wrestle again in a little bit more over a year. Jesse Danger comes back tomorrow, and he will be in that All Japan style battle royal. Don't forget, while you're here, like, subscribe, and again, the revenue streams. We're really pimping hard Premier Pro Wrestling on Patreon.